Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, peace, family, peace on these streets. I am your brother in the struggle, brother minister Alifullah. I say assalamu alaikum to the holy nation of Islam. Surely the messenger's message will guide us through this age of mess. This is part 4 of the so-called Annunaki, and today we're going to show the connection between the 12 Anunnakis and the 12 hidden Imamms and the 12 supreme scientists of the lost foundation of Islam. All right. Now, I want to simplify this thing. See, when you study the ancient Babylonian or Iraqi texts, you're talking different time periods, different authors, countless authors, mistranslations, mistransliterations. Now, I mean, so what we have to do to get a simple and clear picture or understanding about these Anunnaki is that, one, like all river cultures, is really talking about, the simplest way I could put it is like this, for black folks in the wilderness of North America in this day and time. If you can picture all of the drama, if you will, that happens in the hood, or all of the drama that happens in your neighborhood, or in the suburbs, or in the projects, or in the ghettos, or whatever you want to call it, real people do real things, good and evil. All right, positive and negative, wise and ignorant. All right, so we're really looking at some real stuff here. But they like to, after the death of people, they like to spook it up. You know what I mean? You know, like after the death of Abraham, they spooked his teachings up, and now to this day, we trying to figure out, was Abraham actually a real person or not? Now, I mean, after the death of Prophet Musa, here is a half original mulatto black and white man civilizing the devils in the caves and hillsides of Europe historically, factually, scientifically. But when they finished with it, they got Moses freeing slaves that supposed to build the Great Pyramids of Giza. That shows you how far and how dangerous hadiths and technology are. Now, I mean, how far they will go. Now, I mean, Prophet Isa, Jesus, got whacked. He got stabbed in his heart, historically, scientifically. But when they finished with it, they got Jesus walking on water. He came back from physical death. He was crucified on a cross. Just a whole bunch of bullcrap that billions of people actually believe the lies over the truth. They believe the fantasies over the facts. Now, that's the history of Abraham. That's the history of Musa, Moses. That's the history of Yahshua, or Isa, Jesus. That's the history of Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad thought he could reform the devils. Prophet Muhammad was a sincere and righteous man. He was the Khatim Nabi, or seal of the prophets. But the Holy Qur'an teaches us every nation gets a messenger, a Rasul, not a Nabi. We're not saying that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a Nabi or he's a prophet. We're saying that he is the messenger or Rasul for black people in the wilderness of North America. What does that mean? That means we would not be surprised if the Hawaiians had a messenger amongst the Hawaiians. We would not be surprised to hear of a messenger for the Black Dallas over India. We would not be surprised about a Rasul or messenger in Haiti or Jamaica, or whatever. You know what I mean? Every nation, according to the Holy Quran, gets a Rasul or messenger, and that messenger speaks the language of that particular people that he or she has been sent to mentally resurrect. There is no people coming out of the physical graves. All of that is our ignorance. All of that is the slave teachings, the slave interpretations, the mistranslations. All right. So it's the exact same thing when you study ancient Mesopotamia, Sumer, Babylon, what we call Iraq and Persia or Iran to this day. Here you got these giant freshwater rivers. You're going to have countless civilizations that's going to live around those rivers. Countless. When I say count, I literally mean countless. Like, you're not going to be able to count. You're not going to be able to dig down. Archaeologists are not going to be able to trace the origin. None of that. It's fresh water. As long as that water running. Now, we have a creek in my backyard. That creek is not where it was some 10 years ago when we moved into this home. Just in 10 years. That creek will not be in the same position 100 years from now. You may look out there and not even see a creek. You may look out there and see a lake. That's just the way nature is constantly changing things. The law of vibration. You know what I mean? You know, so the pendulum swings. You know what I mean? It's nothing spooky with it whatsoever. But one of the funny things about these Annunaki, to me personally, they're actually not just black men and black women or gods and goddesses on earth. They're human beings just like us in this day and time. Like, if you was living back then, you would think that the Annunaki, they would be perfect for love and hip hop. They would be perfect for a soap opera, drama, baby mama dramas, sibling jealousies, murders, abuses, thefts, greed, larceny. They got all of the human strengths and weaknesses manifested in this family lineage that is real simple when you really look at it for what it really is. Let me turn your attention to the theology of time real brief. In fact, because we're talking about the 12 major and 12 minor scientists, so I also want to share something with y'all from Outstairs Arrived today. But this is the theology of time by Messenger Elijah Muhammad. Okay? The Messenger tells us on page number 4 of the Holy Qur'an, everything that we say to you today, it must be proven. God gave me the proof. I'm the little fellow in your Bible of whom it is written that they will shut their mouths at him. The messenger here is talking about the Bible in the book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse number 15. He goes on to say, quote, if any man, including woman, I add woman in there, if any man will be able to condemn what I'm teaching, you bring him or her to me. We pay no more attention to magicians. They are considered liars. Meaning, the more you listen to technology, the more it has an effect on you. So you got to not tune out on bull crap, spooky stuff. You got to block that crap. Like, nah, I'm cool, homie. Know what I mean? We pay no more attention to magicians. They are considered liars, and they can be proven liars if you understand the truth. Okay. Now, I want to read to you something from the Theology of Time, February 26th to be exact, 1974, wherein the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches in chapter 12, Allah God, the Supreme Being. He tells us this about these scientists, and I quote him. The knowledge of God has been kept a secret by 12 men on our planet for many thousands of years. The 12 passed their knowledge on from son to son. But the number possessing this knowledge is never more than 12, and they are not to ever reveal it. The wisest of scientists have worked, studied, and searched all their life long for the actual knowledge of God and have failed to obtain it. Finally, they formed their own opinions of God. Many claim that there is no such one, God, and that the creation of the universe came by chance. Man's creation, they say, took place from some lower form of animal life of the sea, but they were never able to prove such theories. Therefore, the people formed their own ideas of God, for they had no true knowledge of God. How could we know God if he kept himself from our having a true knowledge of him? Just what was the purpose of this secret knowledge of God? Think about that. The secret knowledge of God. This secret. Now, secret in Arabic is siri. Secret. Knowledge in Arabic is alimi. Alim. The secret knowledge of God. The secret knowledge of actually the God, Allah. So we're talking about al-sir alimi Allahi, the secret knowledge of the God. I want to now hold your attention to that principle, and let's turn our attention to Message to the Black Man in America, which was written some 10 years before. To page number 9, I believe. Messenger Elijah Muhammad says in Message to the Black Man in America, the belief in a God, and I'd like to show it to you too. Hold up. I don't want you thinking I'm just be making this stuff up, because, you know, the COINTELPRO counterintelligence program is trying to shut this channel down. They don't want me teaching. I had 400 videos up. They took all 400. They stole all 400 videos. I got over 400 videos up right now. Don't be surprised this summer if all 400 of them videos disappear. They know what I'm teaching is going to affect you and take you out of mental slavery into reality. It's not going to make you a follower of me or this minister or that religion or that. It's going to give you the power to be true and manifest the God self. And that's the problem with dictators and tyrants, you know what I mean, oligarchies. And they do not want you to believe in yourself. They want you to believe in God, messengers, angels, prophets, books, everything, as long as it's outside of yourself. As long as they can keep you believing in a power superior than yourself, they know that your responsibility and your activity is going to be limited. They're going to restrict your willpower because you're waiting for some UFO to come back. You're waiting on an Annunaki. You're waiting on the mother plane of the Nation of Islam to come back and save you. But like Erykah Badu put it, the mothership, is, you know what I mean? Your ass going to get left. I mean, not saying that human beings can't produce flying vehicles. I believe in unidentified flying objects. A helicopter, there's not a helicopter. There's all kind of helicopters. I don't know how to make the helicopters. There's all kind of airplanes and jets and flying vehicles in various shapes and triangles and circles, whatever. So that don't make me be like, oh, they came from the 12th planet. And this, it's like, yo, my man, come on. Now, I mean, don't raise your don't know to the level of knowledge. That shows and proves your ignorance. All right. So remember, in Theology of Time, this secret knowledge of God. Al-Siri, the secret. Alimi, knowledge. Ain of Allahi, the God. The secret knowledge of the God. This secret knowledge of the God goes back to 66 trillion years. I'm not talking Masons and shrines. I'm talking about before those limited views was even a thought. Black men that had that knowledge was an understanding. They kept it amongst themselves. You know what I mean? Because it's like giving your guns to your children. They're not ready for that. They don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to be responsible. Imagine you having the power to just wish something and it come to pass. The universe would be gone. I mean, the first emotional outbreak, I wish everybody does that. Poof, everybody's dead. Now, I mean, so let's look at this. Message to the Black Man in America, page number 9. The belief in a God other than man, a spirit, Allah has taught me goes back into the millions of years, long before Yaqub, the father of the devils, because the knowledge of God was kept as a secret from the public. This is the first time that it has ever been revealed, and we, the poor, rejected, and despised people, are blessed to be the first of all the people of earth to receive this secret knowledge of God. There you go again, family. I showed it to you 7 years later in the Theology of Time, 1972. Then I took you back 7 years of God to Message to the Black Man in America, page number 9, wherein he says, I got it underlined in here, you know what I mean? You can see it for yourself. You know what I mean? He said the secret, quote, this secret knowledge of God, secret knowledge, remember, Arabia, secret, Siri, knowledge, Alimi, of, Ain, God, Allah, La, the God. Now, don't get spooky when you hear us talking about God. Now, I mean, a lot of people like, I have the truth because I'm giving you the source of the information. I'm a minister of Messenger Elijah Muhammad's teachings. I'm a humble servant in the lost foundation of Islam. All right. So my job is not to get you to believe in me. My job is simply to get you to know that which Messenger Elijah Muhammad taught. Only the messenger's message can guide us through this age of mess. My teachings will lead you straight into mess. You follow me, you'll make progress with me, but when I stumble and fall, you're going to stumble and fall. So I don't want anyone following this minister or that minister, going to this temple or this church or that masjid. I'm strictly non-denominational. If it's facts, reality, truth, I'm with that. If it's black, I'm with that. But I'm not with the black foolishness. I'm not with black superstition and spookism. I mean, not at all. No, I mean, I'd rather be with the white scientists, the white fact finders, the whites that's dealing with reality than be with some spooky people sitting around praying to the sky talking about Jesus great come back. Not today, but not this century or 1,000 years, maybe 2,000, maybe 3, maybe 10,000, whatever. We just got to have faith. I don't think so. While we're suffering right here on the face of the planet Earth. You know what I mean? That is illogical to me. You know what I mean? So Messenger Elijah Muhammad's teachings, for me, makes scientific and natural sense. So I share with you the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I'm cognizant of the fact that just because I'm telling you the messenger's teachings don't make it, just because I'm giving you the sources directly from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, don't make me right. I don't want you that spooky. That, oh, it's in Message of the Black. So what is in Message of the Black Man? So what the messenger said it? The messenger said, piece it apart. See, whatever he taught you, he wants you to be analytical in your think. He wants you to think like a scientist. Your job as a 5% of poor righteous teachers is to teach the arts and sciences of the entire universe. We don't run with belief, the bela. I mean, no, we work with knowledge, alimi, wisdom, hakimi, and understanding, alifi. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Alim, Hakim, Alif. That's what we build with. 1, 2, 3. The mathematics. That's what we're really trying to live our life based upon. That's what we build upon. We build upon reality. Haq, the sure truth. Know what I mean? And when we do that, we're happy when we find our mistakes, because that means that some scientist, some black man or black woman, a black boy or black girl, a white man, a white woman, a white boy, a white girl, or Indian, Arab, Chinese, it makes no difference. The messenger told us, he said, if you hear a white man in overalls chewing on tobacco down south, and he speaks the truth, you should bear witness to that truth. The source of the truth is irrelevant. We want the truth. We want the reality. We want the teaching. We want the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of self. See, when you get caught up on personalities, oh, he's handsome. Oh, she's pretty. He's rich. He's famous. He got 1 billion followers. Now you're getting spooky. I mean, that shows your ignorance. Now, I mean, it's like the prophets never attracted the masses. I mean, Moses didn't have the masses; he had the few. Now, I mean, many are called, but few are chosen. So that's not the criteria for truth. You see what I'm saying? You can't cite sources and think that your sources make it true. Just because some black man wrote it in a book don't make it true. Just because a whole bunch of black men wrote millions of things in billions of books. Many of those books are full of crap. Most of those books, not some, most of those books contain errors. And as time moves forward, we always see the errors in those old books. So if you're a scientist, if you're a mathematician, a historian, an English buff, a white man, a black man, archaeologist, your new data makes your one-time theories obsolete. Like that theory, I mean, it just simply is, we don't accept it no more. At one time we believed it, but once we gained more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we're like, nah, we ain't working with that no more. You know what I mean? No disrespect. We still use the knowledge. We still consider you a credible source. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's like you got 88% things right. You got a B+ with us. We love you. We appreciate that. You know what I mean? But some of the stuff is just a little off. That's human nature. That's what we do as human beings. Historians, so-called scholars, scientists, what have you. There has never been a scientist or a scholar, whatever, that does some perfect magical stuff. And that's why I love Messenger Elijah Muhammad. Instead of him spooking it up, he put it, he said, Master Fard Muhammad's father was like, I'm going to give birth to the Savior. Oh, this the 24th sign. This the supreme God. Okay, let's make it happen, God. Show and prove. And he was like, I went up in the Caucasus Mountain and I got me a white woman, a pure white Jewish woman at that. You know what I mean? And I got her pregnant. And my niyat or intention was to give birth to Master Fard Muhammad. But you know what happened? I effed up. I'm a 24 scientist. I was like, the message said, I missed that time. The supreme scientist, the 24, I missed that time. So what did he do? He's like, that's how the gods were, everything real, ain't nothing spooky. So then he went back into this white woman and produced the Savior, the second. But now he got an older sister out there. And a lot of people just ignore her, but she plays a role because the universe teaches us that's bigger than any of us. Before any physical human beings was on, before there was any 24 scientists, the universe said the law of gender is in all things. The male and female principle is in everything. The yin and the yang, the I Ching, the Ife, whatever nomenclature or scientific term according to the culture and times you're living in, you're not going to produce a son ignoring the woman. Not happening. You're not going to produce man without ignoring the womb of man. The original man, the Asiatic black man, the maker of the creator planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe, whatever way you want to say it. The original man is Asiatic black man, the maker of the creator planet Earth, God of the universe. First comes that black womb, family. The womb of space. You see? So the messenger says, this secret knowledge of God, this is the first time that it has ever been revealed. This is the first time that it has ever been revealed. And we, the poor, rejected, despised people, are blessed to be the first of all the people of earth to receive this secret knowledge of God. So let us reflect again. The messenger says, he goes on to say to us. Let me back up for one moment here. So we get back on point with this 12. The knowledge of God has been kept a secret by 12 men on our planet for many thousands of years. The 12 pass their knowledge on from son to son, but the number possessing this knowledge is never more than 12, and they are not to ever reveal it. So here you have this black ancient, like a Masonic cipher. It's 12 black men, all right? 12 representing the foundation. 12 constellations, 12 zodiacs, the 12 months of the year. 12 represents 12. 12 is the root of the 144,000. You know, it's no limit. The 12 pantheons of the ancient Kemetic gods, the 12 ancient family lines of the Annunaki. It's just simply no limit to this 12. In Shia Islam, they talk about the 11 Imamms with the 12th hidden Imam. All of the Imams are Ibns or sons, but that 12th one is Allah. Now, I mean, it's like Ayatollah Khomeini was telling people that all of us are Muhammad. All of us are Allah. See, so the science was there. Master Muhammad didn't magically just conceptualize. The messenger teaches us that his father literally traveled all over the planet Earth and paid great sums of money to other people, Babylonians, people in Egypt, people in China, people in Europe, Ireland, people in the Philippines. And when he got the wisdom, he would come back and teach it to his son. Now, what is you teaching your sons and daughters in 2023? Is you limiting them? Is you limiting them to the 3 R's of reading, writing, arithmetic? Are you limiting them in some organized religion? Are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Are you atheist? Are you a Catholic? You're a Jehovah's Witness? Come on, family. Let the mind be free. Break the chains off of them. You see? Because you can't be a Jehovah's Witness if you're not a Christian, if you're not Christ-like. You can't be a Jehovah's Witness unless you bear witness to Jehovah, the kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Catholic only means universal. Muslim means one who submits, and we add to the will of Allah. You must submit to universe. You're going to go to sleep, wake up. You don't have a choice. You got to breathe in. Try your best. Don't breathe out. You got to obey the law of rhythm. You got to breathe out. You see? You're alive. You can fast. You can pray. No matter what. If you're alive, at some point, you're going to die. I'm going to die. You're going to die. If I'm alive, at some point, I'm going to die. If I'm dead, at some point, I was alive. It's just no getting around universal laws. We have to submit willingly or unwillingly to the universal laws of the universe. Mother Nature, Father God, you call it Yahweh, Jehovah, Elohim, Annunaki, Allah, whatever. Now, I mean, all those names actually are talking about the exact same wisdom, power, and force that comes from our people, our nafs. I mean, but it's nothing spooky with it. All right. So the messenger says here, again, the knowledge of God has been kept a secret by 12 men on our planet for many thousands of years. What thousand? They write the histories or the cycles in 25,000 year cycles, as we said yesterday. All right. So these men, and when we say man or mankind, we don't want you to think we're ignoring or being male chauvinistic. We understand that women play great roles in the universal scheme of things. But we also understand that men are men. In this day and time, you know, people are getting confused with it. I mean, they're overlapping. And there's a science to that in and of itself also. Now, I mean, all men have the male and female XY and double X chromosome, or estrogen, as the feminine estrogen, as well as male testosterone. You know, some babies are born hermaphrodites. They have penises and vaginas, not penises or vaginas, penises and vaginas. So it's a lot of misunderstanding about the sciences of human beings on the face of the planet, the gods, and I'm talking the God language. Now, I mean, and how the original man always had the feminine principle within him, and how the universe always had Mother Nature within that spark, or that causation, the law of causation, or that masculine, that yin, that if there's a yin, there's a yang. I mean, that's just the reality of the universe, but we're not going to get lost in that. All right. So these 12, the message says, the number possessing this knowledge is never more than 12, and they are not to ever reveal it. Now, there's 12 major scientists, but they have the law of polarity. There's a separate cipher. Over there are the 12 minor scientists. You see? A lot of people don't understand. See the supreme angels of Allah who came to person Master Muhammad, they have the cipher within, and they have the cipher without. This is mathematics. There's no animosity or hatred. It's just that you gotta let gods do their thing. Otherwise, they become slaves to this god or that god. You see, or this goddess or that goddess. It's like, no, we want you to show and prove your hakim, your wisdom. Now, the 12 major scientists, when they do that with the 12 minor scientists, they know that their brothers will never, ever be on the level of the 12 major scientists, ever. They're going to try, but they'll never just vibrate, because Master Muhammad doesn't create that type of cipher. He's not going to go against universal law, you see? So you got to understand that there are angels and there are supreme angels. I mean, and the reality is the angels simply just don't understand a lot of the moves made by supreme angels. You'll find that in your Holy Qur'an. Now, I mean, when Moses wanted to soldier with Al-Qadir, or the green one, now I mean the one of life, he explained to him, he said, listen, you're not ready to soldier with me because you're not going to understand how I move. The things I do, you're not. And, oh, yes, I will. I'm not going to question you. I'm going to be a crack soldier, this, that, here. And as soon as the Holy Quran says in Surah, the Spider, Surah 29, about the test. In fact, let me turn that to your attention real quick. Let me see, I got my Holy Quran over here. All right. This is what the Holy Quran teaches us. Okay. This is from Surah 29 of the Holy Quran, the spider. Al-Ankabut. It reads in the meaning, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I, Allah, am the best knower. Alif, Lam, Mim. I, Allah, am the best. That's written 1,672 times in the 114 surahs of the Holy Quran. All right. I, Allah, am the best knower. Do people think that they will be left alone on saying, we believe, and they will not be tested? And indeed, we tested those before them. So Allah will certainly know those who are true, and he will know the liars. See, it's easy to say, oh, the black man, God, this, that, and the other. Yes, sir, teach, dear Holy Apostle. That's right. I bear all praises due to Allah for the humble Elijah Muhammad. All praises due to Allah for the humble Elijah Muhammad. Listen to the scream. Listen to the sensation. Listen to the intensity of that. It's 1974. 12 months later, fuck Elijah. We don't believe in that stuff. No. We don't believe in Master Muhammad. We don't believe in Humble Elijah Muhammad. We don't believe in that. Ain't no more FOIs. Ain't no. Whoa, family, slow down. Pump your brakes. What happened to all praises due to Allah for the Humble Elijah Muhammad? I bear witness. I know you're teaching the truth, sir. I believe. What happened to your belief? What happened to your faith? What happened to your hope? For the hopeless, you was tested and you failed the test. So you could do some beautiful things during practice. You boxing. Shout out to my cuz. Now I mean, he just won a championship. But I ain't gonna get in that. But little loose plug for him. Now I mean, my cousin Trisha, her son. Now I mean, but it's one thing to like go in the gym and practice. Now I mean, I was born and raised down Broad Lehigh. I'm like 5 minutes away from Joe Frazier's gym. I'm like 2 blocks from there. All right. So we used to always go to Joe Frazier's gym. My dad take me down there. So when the nation was growing, the nation ran North Philly for real, the brothers. But my pop was more of a Malcolmite than the nation. You know what I mean? And since Joe Frazier's from North Philly, my father and my grandfather was like, man, we riding with Joe Frazier. They didn't like Ali. I mean, and my mom and the women, they was like, Ali, he pretty, he handsome, he fine. They was riding with Ali because he talked that talk. I personally liked Ali because Ali used to grind white folks. I'm like, damn, this dude, I mean, he was like a superhero to me. But I had to ride with my pop and my uncles and my grandpa because Joe Frazier from North Philly. So when they had the first fight, we like North Philly up. Show and prove time. Frazier, he beat Ali behind. Now, we ain't worried about what happened after that. Our thing was he beat the champ. Now, to show and prove the street value of a Joe Frazier on a god. This mortal beat the god. This 85er beat the 5%. So we was on some mentally dead stuff. But my beloved aunt Ola Hassan, she was the physical lieutenant of the Nation of Islam under Minister Jeremiah Shahid Shabazz at Muhammad's Temple number 12, which is again a couple of blocks from where we live at. We're talking the 1500 block of Hazard Street and Muhammad's Temple right there on Broad Street. So I grew up all around. I went to the barber shops. My mom shopped at your supermarket owned by the Nation of Islam and all that stuff. So this is from a child. But at the same time, I was never spooky because my aunt wasn't spooky. My uncles wasn't spooky. My cousins in the Nation of Islam definitely was. I ain't seen no spooky fruit and MGTs in North Philly. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but North Philly was North Philly. You know what I mean? But the thing about it was when the test came, a lot of people got shook up when the action. It's one thing to say you believe, but when you tested in that belief, like you have to literally like go through hell, go through the pantheon of the demons and devils, go through slander, attempted murders, the bloodshed, the chaos, the separation, the division, the stress, the anxiety. A lot of people can't handle it. They just simply can't. And it's not their fault. But in nature, those little minerals that can withstand the stress and pressure of the times, they become pearls. They become diamonds, emeralds, and sapphires. They become gold. So the Holy Quran teaches us in the spider, I, Allah, am the best knower. Do people think that they will be left alone on saying, we believe and will not be tested? And indeed, we tested those before them, so Allah will certainly know those who are true, and he will know the liars. Or do they who work evil think that they will escape us? Evil is it that they judge. Whoever hopes to meet with Allah. Meet with Allah. This takes the spooky stuff out. How can you meet a ghost, a spirit, an unseen entity? Whoever hopes to meet with Allah, the term of Allah is then surely coming. And he, meaning Hua, and he is the hearing, the knowing. And whoever strives hard, strives for himself or herself. Surely Allah is self-sufficient above need of his creatures. And those who believe and do good, we shall certainly do away with their afflictions. That don't mean that you won't get those afflictions. Like Job, you're going to suffer. Damn near death suffering. But Allah is going to remove your burden, remove those afflictions, and reward them for the best of what they did, according to your niyah, or your intention. And we have enjoined on man goodness to his parents. But if they contend with thee to associate others with me, of which thou hast no knowledge, obey them not. Meaning, you ride with them, but when they bring that spooky stuff, you're like, nah, I ain't working with the spooky stuff. I love you to death, brother. I'm riding with probably like 99% of what you teach. But that spooky stuff you talking about, my brain, my heart rejects that completely. To me is your return, so I will inform you of what you did. And those who believe and do good, we shall surely make them enter among the righteous. Now, this test, let's turn to Surah 9. Yeah, Surah 9, Ayat 126 for a moment. We'll share something with y'all. Surah 9, verse 102:6. 126. Okay. Look at the math. All right. The immunity teaches us in chapter 9, verse 126. Let me back up for one moment. All right, now, I want you to understand the science here. It may be a little confusion. There's 114 chapters of the Qur'an. It's actually 113 chapters. But the 9th chapter of the Holy Qur'an is actually a continuation, all right? This is the only chapter in the Holy Qur'an that doesn't open up with the 19 letters, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the beneficent and the love, or the mercy, or grace of God. All right. This hidden prayer can be found in chapter 27, verse 30 of the Holy Qur'an. All right. Now, who was that? That was chapter 9, verse 126. Remember, we read chapter 29, verse 1 through 4 about do you think you be left alone and saying you believe you will not be tested? And indeed, we tried those before you, will try those after thee, so we will know the ones who are truthful and we will know the liars. Now here we have in chapter 9, verse 126, see they not that they are tested or tried once or twice in every year, yet they repent not, nor do they mind. Basically, every 9 days you get a minor test. And every 9 months, you get a major test. A lot of people, when the test comes, the storm comes, they can't weather the storm. They can't weather the trials and tribulations. So they give up. They lose faith. They lose hope. They lack the confidence to keep teaching the teachings of the Most High Elijah Muhammad. But if you are blessed to love Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, and his first, last, and only messenger, you'll weather the storm. And instead of you growing weaker, you'll grow stronger. Okay? So, let me read to you one more time from the Holy Al-Sayyid Azarab, 1974, about these 12 scientists real quick again. The knowledge of God has been kept a secret by 12 men on our planet for many thousands of years. The 12 passed their knowledge on from son to son, and the number possessing this knowledge is never more than 12, and they are not to ever reveal it. The The wisest of scientists have worked, studied, and searched all their life long for the actual knowledge of God and have failed to obtain it. Finally, they formed their own opinions of God. And this is what we have today. We have people that form their own opinions of God. So 99% of the Orthodox think that God is a spirit, a spook, an unseen entity. You know what I mean? Others believe that God is some type of magical ghost. You know what I mean? That sits upon some type of throne and say abracadabra and solve people's problems on the face of the planet Earth. We reject that concept of a God. In 2023, the new mythology, see, in the past, they worshiped like Zeus, you know what I mean? Venus. They were the gods and goddesses in the pantheons of, say, Rome or Greece. Usar and Aset, Heru or Horus. They were the gods and goddesses of ancient Kemet or Egypt, if you will. But in reality, Zeus and Venus and Mercury and Mars, they was just white folks on Earth. In reality, Usar and Aset, Tahuti, they were simply black folks on Earth. Wise black folks that had problems. They had peace, they had war, they had love, they had hate, they had righteousness, they had weakness, they had their higher self, their lower self. They were the gods and the devils, the what have you. And when you look to the Far East, it's no different. It's the exact same phenomena. Now, I mean, the Euphrates River, when you study ancient Mesopotamia, Sumer, ancient Babylon or Iraq, if you will, all of these pantheons of God, and they're unlimited, all of these gods and goddesses became myths over time. Their names got sent to other languages, and you know, this god overlapped this god became that god. They added other attributes to that. They mixed their god with that god. They mixed this legend with this. It's like us talking about Bonnie and Clyde, the Black Mafia, Al Capone, Lucky Luciano. It's a million. If you look at a movie on Lucky Luciano, it's different ways that different people interpret Lucky Luciano. Good, bad. Was he a mafia? Was he a pimp? Was he a drug dealer? Was he a good guy, bad? Was he smart? Was he dumb? Was John Gotti smart for killing the Don? What about the other people that killed Dons? Lucky Luciano killed the Don. So the stuff gets all confused because we looking at it like the ancient people of Sicily and Italy had this strict code that the mafia went by. No, the origin of ancient Sicily was a pitch black man, a farmer that went to war with the bankers that was trying to steal the Sicilian poor people's farmlands. And he became known as the Godfather. He was a black man. And from this black man came the rest of the Godfather, the white Godfathers, the Sicilian Godfather. And once they came over America, it just got mixed up with all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like the facts get confused with the fiction. So we like, oh, the mafia originally came from Sicily, and it was the Italians, the Sicilian families was, and it's just a bunch of bullcrap. And people that know is like, these pseudoscientists is in the way, but people believe they rather see Lucky Luciano or the movie Al Capone or The Godfather than to read or learn the reality and the facts about some black good guy. And the bad guys were the banks that was printing fiat money and trying to steal the poor people's land. It's not as fancy and cute and pretty. It don't have a fancy rapping like that Al Capone story. the St. Valentine's Day massacre. Now, I mean, it don't have that front page edge to it. Now, I mean, so I get it. I understand how the human psychic operates, but it's the same thing with the 12 main royal family members of the Annunaki. Now, let me give you some science, some archaeologies. I'm going to simplify because a lot of stuff overlaps and mixes, and it'll just be, it won't confuse you. It'll confuse me. But I'm giving you the practical, simple family structure of the Annunaki. And then once I give you that, then I'll get into this structure. All right. 1. The Anu in plain language is the god. The Antu is the goddess. Anu and Antu. All right. Together, the Anu and the Antu, the god and the goddess, is the Antu, the Annunaki, or the assembly of the god. Plain language, we would call them the family. All right. Now, you got 12 of them. Let's go through these 12. Number 1, first up, Anu. He's not the king. He's the god of gods. All right. He's the god. All right. Number 2, Antu. That's the goddess who's his sister, but also on some Jerry Springer stuff, she's also his wife. So you got Anu, the god, and Antu, the goddess, his wife and his sister. Then you have 3, Enlil. All right. Enlil is the son of God and the son of the goddess, Anu and Antu. All right. Then you have Ninlil, also known as Sud. Now, that's the wife of Enlil. Remember, Enlil is the son of the god and goddess, Anu and Antu. In fact, I'm gonna just go straight through the 12 to make it easier for you to understand. Anu is the god. Antu is the goddess. Enlil is the son of the god and goddess. Ninlil, known as Sud also, is the wife of Enlil. Number 5, Enki, known as E, is the oldest son of Anu. Ninki, known as Damkina, is Allah's daughter. Nengul, now let me back up for a minute because I want to clarify so I don't want you getting confused. Nenki, known as Nana, Nanar, Sin, El, God, Anu's grandson by Enlil. All right. Nengul is the ex-god or daughter of Enki. Utu, also known as Shamash, as well as Allah, is the great-grandson of Anu. Now, let me pause there. Allah, like a lot of people forget, when you read the Holy Quran, it teaches about Allah, the goddess. Allah, the goddess, is in existence before Islam. Prophet Muhammad goes into the Kaaba and destroys the idols in there. He's not the first one to do it. Remember, Abraham, when he was a young teenager, he goes into the Kaaba and destroys all of the idol gods except for the biggest one. And when they come to him, like, who destroyed our gods? And he's like, what you asking me for? Ask the biggest god. Maybe he was jealous of the other gods and destroyed them. And he's like, what you talking? You know, statues can't see. You know, statues can't hear. You know, statues can't talk or answer. And Abraham's thing was like, then why are y'all worshiping something that can't do what you can do? Spooky. All right. So Allah is in the Bible. I have right here those of you that ever read the what is the name of this Bible anyway? It's a King James Bible, but this is the Schofield Scholars Bible. In fact, let me find it for you because the reason I like showing you stuff because some stuff people like it just sounds so impossible. All right, This is my old Schofield Scholars Bible. 1611 King James translation. The only thing it contains the Aramaic, the Hebrew, the Greek, the Latin, the footnotes. It gives you the science. But if you notice, in the footnotes, I'm going to read the footnote real quick for you. Like, when you see, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. All right? Now, let me pause right for one moment here. This word, in the beginning, God, when the Bible says God, the scholars that know explain that word G-O-D, Imam Mufti Muhammad would prefer without the O, just G-D, God. This is what it means. Elohim, sometimes El or Ilah, English form of God. The first of the three primary names of deity is a plural noun formed from El, meaning strength or the strong one, and Allah. Allah, to swear to bind oneself by an oath, so implying faithfulness. This uniplurality implied in the name is directly asserted in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, plurality, 27, verse 27, unity. See also Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. Thus, the Trinity is latent in Elohim as meaning primarily the strong one. It is fitly used in the first chapter of Genesis. It's used in the Old Testament about 2,500 times. They even tell you how many times is the name God written in the Bible. So that's the scholarly stuff. Short version. If my name is Alif, masculine, and a sister has the name Alif, they put an AH on it, and the Alif becomes Alifa, feminine. Alif, male, Alifa, feminine. El, God, Elohim, feminine. God, goddess. Allah, God. Put AH at the end, feminine, Allah, God, goddess. Malik, put AH at the end, Malika, my wife's name. Malik, angel, master, king. Malika, goddess, queen, angel, whatever way you want to put it. But the principle is the scientists, the people that don't believe it alone, but those that study it and actually know what they're talking about, they know that they're talking about not a spook god, but gods and goddesses. Okay? So, number 8, Nengu. All right, the daughter of Enki. Utu or Shamash is Allah, the great-grandson of Anu. And Nana, also known as Istar. Istar is an ancient, strong, super, let me explain this. Anu's great-granddaughter, but when you study around the world, Istar is known as like a supreme goddess, if you will. She was that girl. Now I mean, all right, let's go on. So that's number 10. And Nana or Ishtar. Number 11, Adad or Ishkar. That's Anu's grandson. Then you have Neherseg or Nimma, also known as Nimma, also known as Ninti. That's Anu's oldest daughter by his baby mama. That's the easiest, clearest way I could factually say this, all right? So, Neherseg or Nimma, or known as Ninti, is Anu's oldest daughter by Namu. Now, imagine if you're married to your wife, but you have a baby with another girl outside the marriage. You're not having two wives, but this is your baby mama. I mean, you committed adultery, as they put it in the biblical sense. Now, I mean, that's your baby mama. It's not just going to be your baby mama, but you get the baby mama drama that goes along with your slackness, weakness, wrongdoing. It's cause and effect there. Now, I mean, you may be able to keep your primary wife and hold on to her and keep the family strong, but you still got this other female entity there that has a son or a daughter from you, all right? Now, Some gods and goddesses work that out. Know what I mean? Some work through it. Know what I mean? You know, some can't deal with it. Know what I mean? But the reality is the first god Anu, the second god Antu, the goddess, Enlil, the son of God, Ninli, Enki, Nenki, Nengal, Utu, Inanna, Adad, Neherseg. These 12 family members, these pantheons of the gods and goddesses, are talking about black men and black women living in the Far East, what we call today Iraq, Mesopotamia, Babylon, that area, if you will. Asia Minor is right there. And in principle, we just simply say we don't get caught up in, because it's that these 12 gods and goddesses, when they dig deeper, they're gonna find some more and some more and some more. So our thing is like, yo, you be there all day with that. I can tell you that right now. They'll be finding black gods and goddesses for eternity, because we've been here for 76 trillion years. So the simple, rational, logical way of saying it is the Anunnaki was and is and shall be nothing more than human black men, women, and children that had knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that wasn't common to other people. So they were considered high scientists, or 12 gods and goddesses, or 12 scientists, or you got 12 hidden imams in Persia and Iran. Everybody borrowed. It's like once you got Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, everybody trying to make an app now. That's just human nature, family. I mean, it's like, it's like if you got a Ford car, somebody gonna come out with a Chevrolet, a Chrysler, a Cadillac. That's just human nature. We should expect that. But you'll be all day like, what these parts of the car go with this part. It's like, yo, man, it's countless cars. You be there all day. You know what I mean? If you're talking about horses, it's countless grafted horses. Countless, you got Doberman pigeons, Great Danes, pit bulls, bull terrier. It's just countless grafted dogs. There are countless grafted human beings on the face of this planet Earth. But we and the canine family say, all right, we trace all this grafted stuff to the wolf. We trace all these black, brown, yellow, red, and white folks to this black man and black woman. That's just a simple, logical conclusion. I know it doesn't sound as fancy as the 12 families of the Anunnaki coming from the 12th planet. and the funny part, even with the 12th planet, you'd be like, they come from the 12th planet. No, it's 12 families of these Anunnakis. You'd be like, where did the 12 families of the Anunnaki come from? The 12 families came from Nibiru. You say 12 families came from the planet Nibiru. Oh, they were an alien civilization. They had gold dust hiding that planet. That's why you can't see it. It's like, yo, slow down. Pump your brakes, homie. I mean, let's look at this logically. Let's look at it in a simple. Let's look at it from a scientific perspective. Let's look at it from not what we believe. Let's look at what we know. This word Nibiru, when we study this word Nibiru in the Far East, and we study the languages and dialects of the people, what does it mean? They be like, does it mean the 12th planet? No. Does it mean the alien planet? No. What do Nibiru mean? These Anunnakis, they came from Nibiru. Where is Nibiru? The word, I'm taking away no spooky stuff. The word Nibiru means they came from You ready? The other side of the river. I know this plain truth is so, it's just too corny. You know what I mean? It's just not, like, damn. I thought it came from the Apostle and Star. I mean, I thought that 36,000 years ago a UFO flew to this planet. It's like, no, this talking about the black people that lived on the other side of the river. Hey, what can I say? Now, I mean, the plain truth is just the plain truth, family. It ain't nothing spooky. And I keep telling y'all, only the messenger's message will guide you through this age of mess. Peace. Salam Allah. That means peace, God and goddess.